What were you saying, Pia?
What was I saying?
Pia and I always do this where we get on the Zoom and we start just chatting, girl chatting, and then we start totally talking like good VPR content. And I'm like, wait, I should be recording.
I know. I was like, oh yeah, that's why we're here.
That's why we're here.
Totally going to just have a pre-podcast.
Yeah, right? We do that, and we have post-podcasts all the time. I should just not stop recording until we are done
should
fucking
we just
talking.
have our own reality show where it's just us
Basically.
talking about other reality shows?
Isn't that what this is that we're basically doing?
Oh, yeah, true.
Isn't that what a podcast or a YouTube channel is? But Pia was saying that she was actually more impressed with the secrets revealed than she originally thought. And I agree.
Yeah, I don't actually love secrets revealed ever. I'm like, because it's always like dud shit. Like, I'm like, I can understand why
it got cut.
Yeah, like I don't need to watch this.
Yeah.
So I honestly was a little bit, not that I was dreading talking to you, Emily, but I was just like, it's gonna be like stupid stuff that should not have been in the episodes, but it wasn't. It wasn't, and I was like, give me more. Actually, I was like, when it was ending, I was like, I know you guys got more shit.
Yep. I know you got more shit in there. I think it's because the scenes, if we didn't have Scandival, the scenes of like Ariana and Tom going roller skating, talking about how they love Raquel, that wouldn't have been that interesting had it not been for this reveal.
True. You're right. Like if this was not a thing, no, like, yeah, I don't need to see them roller skating. Although I literally drive past where that roller skating thing was on Sunset all the time. I did not see that. Yeah, that was like right, Sunset Plaza, like by that over there.
Oh, like, yeah, that's where that is.
I don't know. I think that was a pop up or something. It had to have been, right?
It had to have been.
But I just never. Because I work over that way.
Yeah,
I didn't see that last summer. I was like, that kind of looked cool. I would have maybe went to that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what, I thought the same thing, but I also thought it looked miserably hot. So it's like maybe at night.
Yeah, because remember last summer was very hot.
Yeah, yeah.
Although this summer is turning out to be very cold, so
I love it. I love it.
Love it? I'm ready.
Yeah, but it's just June gloom. It's just June gloom. Happens every year.
I know, but it feels
it'll
like
get
gloomier.
Hot. It'll get hot. I love it because our summers last longer than we think they do.
True. Because I mean, I was begging it for it to be fall in the summer.
Yeah.
Like I'm never happy, guys. It's fine.
Yeah. This is LA too. It's like the easiest weather to live in.
Anybody that's like from a colder state is probably like, you guys are such bitches.
Oh, totally. I'm loving
complaining.
it. Here's why I think I also like it. Because now that I've moved, now that I have like the ability to catch up, I'm playing so much catch up. Like I'm taking notes on so many so I'm like stuck inside.
Yeah.
And you know when you're stuck inside and it's a beautiful day out and it just like mocks you?
Yeah.
I'm happy that I'm not being mocked every day. And I also, because I live like right across from a park, and so I see people like walking and stuff. So if I was just like looking at this one day I did have to get out of the house. I'm like, it's too pretty.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I like a little gloomy day when I need to stay in.
I love to stay in when it's gloomy, and I get mad when I have to leave.
I know, right?
Which is why I want it to be warmer, because I also get like, I don't realize it, but then I also get like depression.
Yeah.
And I don't realize it that I'm like, oh, you've been depressed for about 4 months now. And I had no idea. I'm just realizing I was. And I was like, I have to actively start like putting on makeup and stuff like that to like make myself feel good. And it's been working. I've been eating better.
Ooh, good for you.
I know. I'm drinking lots of water.
You've been on your water game.
I have been. I've been like really like, it's a water bottle though, because I'm a visual person. So to just know if I fill this up in the morning and if I finish it within the day, I've done all my water intake. So I'm like, I can do that.
Yeah, you've been on top of it. Yeah. Okay, well, let's get into it, shall we? Here at She Speaks Bravo, we believe that Bravo TV is a great form of self-care and therapy. I mean, look at me. I've been using it for over a decade, and I'm a complete mess.
What is this, honey?
I love that. I'm Emily. Every week, I recap the latest episodes of your favorite Bravo shows, from Housewives to Vanderpump Rules.
We need to get more cosmopolitan. Hot teenage.
So if you're not already subscribed, get subscribed and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Last Vanderpump Rules of the season. I'm kind of happy that it's over.
I am too, because like I can't like, you know, I get really obsessive and I have to like, I literally probably watch anything that's available on this just because it's been everything for me right now. And I'm not actually starting to get bored with like, I don't care anymore. I mean, I care, but like, you know what I mean? Like we need to move on now.
Well, yeah, it's like I'm not rushing to listen to the podcasts anymore because I'm like, oh, I'm sure there's the newest thing though is that Kristen Doty is trying to expose James.
That I see, you know, that I heard her, and I do think that that should be explored if there's any merit to it next season, because of course Scandival took over and we just really truly didn't have time to explore that side of James, but like I would be interested to learn more about that.
Yeah, no, like I said this, I think on Instagram, like I know I've even said it here on the pod, but I saw what James was doing at the reunion. I addressed it just a little bit, but it was hard to focus on it.
Right.
When I needed to dissect Schwartz and Sandoval, namely Sandoval.
Yeah, I feel like that's a misconception of that. I feel like we both were like, no. We absolutely saw the deflection. I absolutely like could tell he was lying. I absolutely think he cheated on Raquel throughout that entire relationship. But that just honestly wasn't the topic at hand, and we just did not have time.
Yeah. I think Jamie Stein, who, if you guys don't know who Jamie Stein is, he has a podcast called Deep Dive with Jamie Stein, I believe. And I've had him on this podcast. I've been on his. He's an intuitive. And so he uses his intuitive powers. It's almost like, I feel like magical powers, but he uses that to like tap into the Bravo people. And he posted something that was so spot on about James. And it was that James he weaponizes the fact that he's grown. So he'll be like, I'm different now. I've grown. Yeah. But he doesn't talk about no accountability. Every time he has to be accountable, he deflects. Yeah. As where when you see someone like Carl, who when he was presented with the opportunity to get mad at Kyle for Kyle making he was coked out, he forgot his laptop. He was like, look, I've done it too. I fucked up my whole relationship with my brother, so I'm not going to hold it against you. And he was just grateful. And that's a sign of growth. As where James has not grown at all. He's just no longer in the same relationship that he was with Raquel. He's now with Allie. And and we don't want Allie to fix him. That's not her job.
Absolutely not. That is not. I think that's why she honestly was like, you have to get a therapist, because I think she also was like, I'm not here to fix you either. Like, you need to talk to someone like, we can talk, but like, I'm not here to fix you. And I think that was Raquel's role in their relationship. She was like, you have to stop drinking. Like, she was doing all the fixing for him in that relationship, which was making him resentful and all this stuff. And also, I agree. Like, back in the day when he was first introduced on the show with Kristen, and then how it ended, I was always really upset that no one, just because Kristen is the way Kristen is, no one had her back, not Lisa, not anybody, on how disgusting he treated her. Like, an abusive. Like, I know that she's, I didn't know to the extent of what she was talking about until she just recently said it, but I saw abusive behavior on the show. Like, that episode when he comes to her apartment and like spits on her door. I was like, why does no one care? That was so gross. Like, no one could be like, hey, like, yeah, I might not like Kristen, but like, that was really disgusting and terrible.
Jax tried, but Jax, it felt like it was more of his own agenda because he hated James.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like he was protecting Kristen.
Right. And I'm sure that was the case. And that's horrible. But no, James I agree with that whole comparison between James and Carl. Like, he needs to, like, if he truly has grown, he should be able to be like, I was really terrible to Kristen.
Yes.
I can own my part of it.
To Raquel, or to any, own it.
He needs to own it, and I think that he will. Like, he's lucky right now that Scandival did happen, and people are just still too
caught up in it.
But I think that next season would be a great opportunity for that to be discussed. So it's just not Scandival Part 2.
Totally, 100%, because he's not innocent.
Not at all.
He's just giving. We've all said a million times as a person. Oh, I keep forgetting to tell this story. I had someone tell me a story. Maybe I did. Did I say the Coachella story about James and being in line and cutting in line?
No.
Okay, so someone DM'd me and said that they're like, I actually saw this is when Raquel and James were still together. It's like I was standing in line at Coachella for, I don't know, whatever, a drink. And James cuts in front of everybody because Raquel was like saving his place. And not only does he cut, but he like invites like 10 friends because he's rolling with the posse. Mm-hmm. And he's like, it was just so obnoxious. He was loud, he was drunk, and Raquel looked like she was really embarrassed. That's not in any way shocking.
Yeah. No, not at all.
No.
Like even earlier, I feel like we kind of talked about this, but I can't really remember because it's been so long. But earlier in the season when we were in Mexico for Scheana's wedding, and we start out with the whole thing that happened between Scheana's guest and James and them essentially fighting, not all the way, but kind of. I mean, I could picture exactly what happened. He probably thought he was recognized. He thought it was a fan, and he wasn't. I can tell that if it's not a girl, he's probably not interested in fanning out.
Right. Yeah. Good point. Or if it's not the right occasion.
Right.
I will give him credit. When we went to see Tom's show, all of the cast was there, and my brother-in-law was in the bathroom, and James walked in, and my brother-in-law was like, oh my God, my girlfriend is going to be so excited that I saw you. And he goes, let's go meet her. And like, James it wasn't like a straight shot to where my sister and I were standing because there were so many people that kept stopping him. Yeah. And so people would stop him, but he would stop to like look to see where Kirby was and be like, I'm coming. I haven't forgot about you. So when he needs to be on,
right,
he can be on.
Yeah. So that makes sense too, because he is a DJ and that is his job. Mm-hmm. And I feel like when he knows he's clocked in for his job, he's on. And then in Mexico, it was like, I am at, no, we're not doing this. And
not with no cameras around. Fuck you. Get out of here. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so about this episode, though, I am dying that Lisa is this cheesy narrator host for the event. It ties into Lisa's like how I've said lately, she's like the Disney animatron.
Yes.
Like this is Lisa shining and thriving. She does these over-the-top delivery of everything. And it's something like, Ariana and Tom may still be living together, but Katie and Schwartz did it first. It's like so sing-songy and over-the-top.
I like needed it, though. It was like great.
I want to know, like, did the producers write this for her? Or did they show up thinking she was just going to do like a normal intro and she turns it into that? And they're like, she just talks like this, guys.
I like to think it's the latter that you just said. Yes.
Like they had no idea because there's some lines in there where they're like, wow, okay, sure.
I honestly think the producers didn't even have to work much this season in the sense of like everything just fell into their laps. Like even if they're telling the truth, the 6 days later with the Raquel supposedly just supposed to be doing pickup in confessionals, and then her just spilling her guts, like they're like like okay,
yeah, they're like we'll take it. Katie and Schwartz living together. They're seen here. It all tied in and made sense to what Tom Sandoval will harp on a million times. Mm-hmm. When Schwartz, he's like, I don't have any desire to date anyone. Have you been dating? And Katie says, yes. And he's like, he's all grossed out. And he says, I didn't think we'd start doing that until we moved out. I was like, there it is.
Absolutely. And he told this story. And the thing is, though, and this is what I get mad about Schwartz, is because he was not mad at Katie, and he wasn't honest. Oh, he kind of was honest in the conversation. And I thought that was a really great moment. And like, I'm not saying that Tom is like, he has feelings and he was going to feel a sort of way, and he assumed something that was going to happen. But then he wasn't like mad at her when she said, well, I didn't know. And I almost feel like if within that conversation, if he had said, I don't want, like, can we not do that while we're in the house and wait? She would have respected it.
She would have respected it.
But he never asked her. So that's the difference between what's happening with in their situation in the house with dating and what she asked of Sandoval. Schwartz. You know what I mean? Like, she asked him, he agreed. He didn't ask her to not date while they were in the house. So and then he's relaying the story to Sandoval.
Yes.
And Sandoval's twisting it as if they had some fucking blowout about it. Like, that wasn't the situation. So
as if she was like intentionally doing it to hurt him.
She never flaunted it. She's not bringing people home. She asked him, "Are you sure you want to do this?
You sure you want to know?" He says yes.
And he says yes. And then they have the conversation, and she was kind within the conversation.
Yes, she was. She let him cry while Gordo was humping his stuffed animal.
I know. I was like, are we all not going to acknowledge Gordo, like, being horny over there, like, humping a pillow while Schwartz is crying?
They just didn't even acknowledge it.
Yeah.
But I loved Katie's confessional. How she could tell she's so relieved. She's like, I can finally be myself. I give myself permission to be happy.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like I'm waiting for something, waiting for someone, whether for him to come home or grow up. I'm like, what a relief.
Yeah.
I get it. It was a great moment for her.
Yeah. I'm just really annoyed because I feel like they did start their divorce so great. And I understand that might not be for everybody, but they really do have love for each other.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that Schwartz just does not have a backbone and allowed other people to ruin that. And like that, it's just annoying because like I really could have seen them actually being good friends.
Totally. But then, as she said, I build friendships with people who have loyalty and respect. And he's like, okay, well, just because I don't abide by your rules, we can't be friends. I was like, all right, Schwartz, never mind.
I know. And it's like, it's better, though. It's better that she just cuts the cord with that guy. Because if you can be so easily swayed and manipulated, then it's just like, what are we doing?
Yep. The Sandoval's old apartment scene was so dark.
I know.
Oh, God, it was so dark. Ugh. It was like there was a cockroach on the ground. The AC
gross.
Unit. It was this outfit though. I clocked the outfit Ariana was wearing. This is from the episode where I think it's like the first episode where she's so excited to hang out with Tom, and they go to this like furniture place to get a couch for Schwartz. For Schwartz and Sandy's.
Good catch.
Yeah,
you're so good at like timeline piecing.
Am I?
Yeah, because like even like when the trailer came out for the season, you were able to like put everything in chronological order.
I think I kind of messed it up, but I try it's just for my own sake of mind to understand where they were especially during this episode to see like when did this take place. And Schwartz comes over and they go through like the stuff, and as it's happening, they're splicing in this creepy. His face is just creepy. In his confessional, he's so cheesy, and he says, "This apartment made me who I am today." And I thought, that's how dark the apartment is. It turned you into who you are today.
Yeah, it's like it did. It's a fucking disgusting rat.
Ariana lived there.
Place.
They lived there together. Like it's just I don't see Ariana living in a situation like that.
I know.
I was
like even looking at their. Like I understand what it was a different decade, but the furniture and like everything, I was just like, ew. I always thought that apartment was ill. Because I just can't. Like that apartment looks so disgusting to me. Like it's the type of apartment like if you go to that person's house, you're like, I'm not going to use the bathroom there.
Oh, or if the worst is when you end up needing to crash there because you're so drunk and you wake up the next day like, oh God.
You're like, you need to get out of there.
I have to leave, and you're all hungover and you just need to get to your car and you need to drive away and shower as soon as you get home.
Yeah, I can just smell that apartment. It smells stale. And
smells with the carpet. Ugh. awful, traumatizing. Because, you know, we've all been to an apartment like that, a friend's apartment. You're like, oh, I don't want to go to Tom's house.
Yeah.
Can we go back to anyone else's apartment?
I like wouldn't want to drink out of anything there. Like their dishes are probably gross. I'm already weird about like eating and drinking off of people's shit when they go. People don't know how to wash their dishes.
They don't have a dishwasher. I don't trust it.
Oh, remember he put a dishwasher into that gross apartment?
He did?
He did. I remember.
Good memory.
Stassi was like, you put it, like, why did you put a dishwasher in here? That seems like an expensive thing to do for an apartment.
Like he put it in, like built it into the apartment, or what? Got one of those.
Sure,
like,
I have to find the scene. I'll find it for you later and send it to you.
Okay, I'll try to remember that because I won't.
I probably won't.
It's already gone. It's already gone. I'm like, what are we talking about?
I never say I'm gonna send. I never do it because I forget.
Yeah, and I don't remember either unless I go through the entire episode. So, guys, if you want to, if we haven't already posted it, please comment on YouTube or DM Pia. Pia will DM her. She get.
Okay, I'm gonna find it. Now I feel the pressure because I feel like everyone's gonna do it. I'm gonna find the fucking clip.
Now we won't forget. We say that now.
It has to be season 4, I feel like. Maybe.
Okay. That sounds about right. They find the Schwartz and Katie wedding invitation, the tea towel, that fucking huge ass tea towel. But it makes Schwartz cry. And as much as I was supposed to maybe be like, oh, poor Schwartz, all I could focus on was how sweaty he was.
Yeah.
He was drenched. I'm like, oh God, okay.
I know. I'm not going to lie. I did tear up a little bit because like,
oh, that's sweet.
I did because you know what, it was nice to actually. I haven't seen him be this the entire season, and I was missing that because I was like, he was being just a dick to Katie, but it kind of made me feel good. He hurt. Does that?
Okay, you could. I can understand that. It made you feel good to see him cry.
Yeah, I was like, I need you to like be sad,
and I was like, you did this and now you I don't like that he keeps saying Katie divorced him. I'm like, you left her no fucking choice.
It's because he said like, God, they literally, whenever Raquel and Schwartz talk, all I hear is Sandoval. It's something Sandoval has kept saying to his ass. Now he's just repeating it.
Yep. Producer asks Lisa about the funniest scene that didn't make it. And I'm dying that what makes her laugh is Peter getting humiliated.
Poor Peter.
She's like, oh, it has to be when Peter didn't remember Raquel dumping him and having her repeat it. I'm like, of course you like that part. You're so
I
mean
think
to
we
Peter.
all liked it. Like, I'm sorry, but like Peter has been the Vanderpump laughing stock and punching bag for a decade. I feel bad for him a little bit. That's probably why he's like, I don't really want to film anything anymore.
And it's a see you next Tuesday. Peter goes up to James DJing and he's like, question, do you run to mommy for everything? And James goes, sorry, are you a manager right now or are you just acting immature? He's like, why would you run to Lisa? And James is like, I didn't run to Lisa. And they flashed him telling Lisa everything.
I know. I love when we have a good receipt.
Love it. Right away. And James is like, she's not even that into you, bro. She said she's going to break your heart if that's what you're feeling. And Peter's like, okay, all right. So he walks off.
I feel like he's having because he's blacked out. Obviously, he doesn't remember the conversation. I feel like when James says that, like when you black out and then someone says something, it triggers a memory.
Yep.
You're like, I feel like he's like, oh shit. Like, hold on. I think something did happen like that. Hold the fuck on.
So he pulls Raquel into the alleyway and you see a camera and a producer in the background, like running to get,
I know.
to get it. They're like, they're out here. And he's like, I don't remember exactly what was said. And Raquel's like, oh no, you want me to tell you again?
She said it just like that too. Oh no.
Oh no, I gotta do this again. And she's like, I just came to the conclusion that I don't really see us going anywhere. And Peter just stares. He just stares at her. And I think you're right. I think he's like, and you're gonna say the part, right, where like we're gonna break my heart. And then he's like, okay, well, my whole thing is what Kennedy just told me. Okay, because no offense, Raquel, you're not going to break my heart. And she just goes, okay, good. And he's like, damn it. This is really This is really one more time me looking foolish.
I know. I could feel him being like, I really wish I didn't even confront her about this.
He's like, this isn't how I saw it go. I thought I was going to be able to like school her a little bit, but then he says he didn't think Raquel was coming back. That's why he pursued the relationship. He's like, I didn't think you were coming back.
I mean, that also does make sense because, again, like, I'm not stupid. Like, they don't work there all the time. They don't have like 5 shifts a week. He's probably like, oh, she got a little.
Did it for the show.
Yeah, she did for the show. You didn't really think you're really working here.
Yeah. We actually wish you weren't because you're terrible.
Yeah.
La Mesa, where Charlie works, this uniform is utterly insane. I didn't know they still did uniforms like this where it was just like so risque. She looks hot.
Yeah. I had a sexy uniform when I worked for Tao.
That sounds right.
Yeah, I had like cutout. It was like a mini dress and cutouts on the side, and no sleeves. And I had to wear. I wore heels.
Oh,
I wore boots, like thigh high boots, and like the Clueless socks.
Yep, that sounds about right. I am proud to say that when I started at Soho House, they acted like I had to wear heels when the big like North American director and the owner came in, and I said to them something that they had no response to. I said, okay, do the men have to wear heels also? And they said, no. I go, well, then this is sexist because I'm not walking around a 12-hour shift in heels. And if you don't have a requirement that the men have to also wear heels, then I don't have to wear heels. And
That's
so
right, Emily.
I did not wear heels, and I changed the game. Suddenly, all the hosts were like, I'm not fucking wearing heels if I don't have to wear heels. I'm like, we don't. It is not a fucking legal requirement.
Yeah.
It is a sexist requirement, and the day you guys want to walk around in heels, I will put on heels. Until that day,
Yeah.
Bullshit.
It's so interesting. Like, even the uniforms at SUR have, like, changed drastically.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they were wearing that, like, handkerchief for the longest.
Right? That was nuts. But Scheana's all defeated about the Katie thing, which I kind of feel bad about now, just because I've softened on Shishu so much. Like, I'm even calling her Shishu. But I also, she was still arguing about why she was justified to do what she did, and then still hadn't actually apologized to Katie.
It's so funny. We're like opposites. Like, I was like, this is why Katie fucking didn't invite you. I was like, well, I mean, okay, if it was me, I probably would have invited Scheana just because I really, even if I'm mad at someone, like, I really hate not including someone. Like, I wouldn't even enjoy myself on the trip.
Mm-hmm.
But she was being a little bitch back then. Like, she was. So I also understood Katie's, like, fucking apologize to me, and then maybe we can
say
come.
You're sorry for doing that and not double checking with me, like, after. Because Scheana tries to say, like, it wasn't just one little joke one time. It was a full conversation that we had.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know by that.
And also, I caught her in a lie because correct me if I'm wrong, Emily. I feel like during the season, she was acting like Katie wasn't drunk, and she had like one drink, and she was very coherent in the conversation. And
did she?
I'm almost certain that's how she was like. She wasn't like, she was making it seem like she was with it when she had the conversation. And in this, she was like, so what? She was like, yeah, she was wasted, and she was telling me this, but like, that's when you tell the truth. Like, no.
I don't remember her saying that, but I'll take your word for it because you have a better memory than I do.
I'm pretty sure that's she's trying to downplay the drinking part of what happened there.
Okay. Katie and Charlie like talk like right next to everybody, but they talk about, the situation with Raquel and Schwartz, and they keep cutting over to Scheana just staring at them. And just watching them, just trolling Scheana with the edit. But they cut over at one point to the other girls' conversations, and they're talking about like sex and orgasms. And Ariana comes in and says she always comes from anal.
Okay, I completely missed that.
What?
I don't know how I did, but what?
What are you talking about? Yes.
I gotta rewatch that part.
Girl, yes. She's like, oh, yeah, I don't come from penetration unless it's back there. I come really fast. And then you go to a confessional and she's like, oftentimes when you go to a really exclusive club, the front door is where all the regular people go in. But the back door is where the really chic celebrities go in.
You know
and she
what?
doubled the fuck down.
Okay, thank you for saying that because I think maybe I left the room for a brief second and then I came back to her talking about that analogy and I thought they were just talking about the club. Okay, that makes more sense now.
And here I'm going, oh, okay, Tom, tell me again how sex wasn't good with Ariana.
I was like, oh, yeah, because first
Every
of all,
guy's
ain't nobody
dream come
going
true.
back there, okay?
Mine is exit only.
I know, like, that's like, she is way more, you fucking bitch.
Yeah.
You fucking bitch, Tom. Like, someone's allowing you to go into their butt.
And you're like, ugh,
that
just
person
so
loves you.
Lame.
Like,
yeah.
Like, are you kidding me?
This right here is going to be a Patreon exclusive, because only the Patreon gets to hear this.
How could you do this to me? Question mark.
I am fresh out of the shower and needed to hop on here and talk about how much I freaking love Lumi whole body deodorant. And it dawned on me that when I'm done with the shower, I put this on in that area every single time. And I never smell funky, which is the goals, right? We don't ever want to smell funky down there. By the way, though, Lumi has taught me it's not, well, it could be, but it's not always your vagine to blame for odors down there. It's just body odor most of the time. So Lumi was created by a gynecologist who was tired of the vagine getting all the blame. And when you think about it, BO under your armpit, we're so accustomed to that, right? Well, it's because we have our arms down. That doesn't get a lot of air in there. What's happening down there? Huh? Not a lot of air. Not a lot of air flow, So it can just get body odor. This is why once I found Lumi, I preach it to everybody. Years ago, I thought I had an STD because an odor came from that area. And I was like, this is it. This is it. I have an STD. Sure enough, nope. I learned that it's not an STD. It's just body odor. Doesn't that make you feel better? Makes me feel better. And this is for the entire body, not just down there. I use it under my arms. I use it behind my knees. Anywhere that I feel like it's going to get funky, because I really hate smelling. I'm so sensitive to smell, even my own smell. This is clinically proven to block odor all day. And this is a weird thing to say, but it controls odor for 72 hours. I hope you're showering within that time frame. But you know what? If you needed it, if you're at like a festival or something, Lumi's got your back. It's aluminum-free, baking soda-free, and paraben-free. It's pH balanced for safe use below the belt. And there's a variety of delicious scents. Like I said, I love the toasted coconut, but they've also got some new scents out there, like clean tangerine and lavender sage. Lumi's starter pack is perfect for new customers because it comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, like a mini body wash or deodorant wipes, and free shipping. As a special offer to listeners, new customers get $5 off a Lumi starter pack with code SHESPEAKS at lumideodorant.com. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack when you visit lumideodorant.com and use code SHESPEAKS.
Wrap it up, wrap it up, wrap it up.
Okay, Patreon, I hope you enjoyed that section. The rest of you need to subscribe. Either make it, just subscribe. Yeah, the whole Patreon, all the Patreon gets it. There you go. There you go. But Katie invites Charlie on the girls trip right in front of Scheana. Scheana had to really stretch to hear their conversation. Like, it was clearly very loud. And she's like, I'm not taking my eyes off this conversation. But Scheana, she goes, her voice is so funny to me sometimes. She goes, I know there's a trip and I know I'm not invited. That's totally fine. I know we're not there, but I was just hoping moving forward we can have nights like this her voice gets so Valley Girl sometimes. Like there was a part when Allie took Scheana out to lunch to talk about how she saw Raquel and Tom dancing.
Yeah.
And she was like, they're my best friends. And they would have told me that. Jeff Lewis even made fun of her for it. He kept playing the clip over and over on his podcast.
I feel like one of Sheena's biggest tells that she's actually
uncomfortable
or insecure about something is when she gets very Valley. Like even
very Valley.
Yeah, like even in that conversation with what the hell's Allie?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you don't believe any of the things that you're saying right now. I feel like you're like, wait a minute. They're my best friends, and I feel like they're not telling me everything.
Yep. I agree. It's a tell of hers for sure that she's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And Katie's like, look, if she would actually apologize, well, that's a different thing. And Scheana, that's the problem with Scheana. Okay, Lisa intros a scene about Sandoval and Raquel. And I'm telling you, she wrote this line. The producers were like, okay. She goes, now we know why Sandoval defended Raquel so much. It turns out he was in more than just her corner.
I'm like living for this. This is what I needed from her. She didn't need to come to the reunion. Lisa just needed to just show up for this shit. That's what she's good at.
Just imagine the producer being like, okay, using that. Like, I don't know who the fuck wrote her dialogue, but we'll take it.
Well, that's why honestly she was so good on Beverly Hills, because she is so good at coming up with this kind of stuff. Like she's the queen of this shit. She's
camp.
So good at camp.
Yeah. So we're at Tom and Ariana's house, and we are post guys' night, a.k.a. the night that Tom and Raquel fucked, the night that he was locked out of the house and Ariana had to let him in. That's where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
Raquel and Charlie come over. Raquel brought flowers, and Sandoval's like, it's been so long. Ugh.
That was so gross to know what had happened, though, between them.
And then they show a clip of that video from Jamie Lynn. And if you guys want to see the full video of the two of them talking from her phone, you can sign up for her Patreon. She's got it on there. But Tom then goes, I'll make you both dumpling lattes. I really hate the nickname dumpling. I really don't like it anymore. I didn't really love it before, but now I just hate it. I hate dumpling latte. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Okay? Yeah. It's a latte.
I actually thought it was like an actual form of a latte when he was saying it at first, until I caught on and like, oh, that's what they call each other, and that's why he said it. I was
you go to Starbucks, you're like, I'll have a dumpling latte.
I was like, it sounds like it would have cinnamon in it.
It's cinnamon, and it looked like cinnamon on top. So I agree. It looked like you go to Starbucks, I'll have this dumpling latte.
It sounded good. It sounded like chai might be involved. I don't know.
Ooh, I want a chai latte. Ooh, let's go get chai lattes.
Yes, I need to come over to see your new place.
Yes, come see it, and
I need to go and bring to get my merch too.
Oh, fuck, I keep forgetting I have it. It's in my car. Damn it. All right, guys, sorry. This is post-girls trip right after Charlotte's death. So Ariana is describing that was the worst night ever. And I'm like, is that the exact same night that they had guys' night?
Yes.
That's the exact same night, right?
Yes.
Is that not just...
Yes, that's why.
She is home crying.
I've always thought that was so weird.
Eyes out. Oh my God.
Emily, that's why it's even... I even put the scandal all away from it. We talked about this a few episodes ago, I think. It's just a pattern he has with Ariana discarding her when she needs him, like with going to do the monster trucks on the anniversary of her dad's death. Like he has no problem skipping out on shit. And I'm still like, why is no one talking about the fact that why didn't he go with Ariana when her grandmother died? Like, I still need I really need that question answered.
Agreed. Raquel tells her version, though, of the Vegas and Oliver story. And she's like, and next thing you know, we're making out on the dance floor. And it was like a little moment. And she, knowing what's happened, she's like saying it to make Sandoval jealous. You can feel it. And then Sandoval's trying to act like he's not really interested. So he's not even looking at her. He's like looking out the window.
Yeah.
Ariana's fully engaged. She's like, good. I'm glad you made out with someone. It's just this. this is, I think, also why we like the secrets revealed this time, because any extra context we get for just how often Ariana was being a good friend, how often she was overlooking shit. It's like we want it all, because it really makes it make more sense why she was so – because I get why people were against Ariana being so hard on Raquel at the reunion. I get in theory. I just didn't even we didn't even clock it, because it's like this was only 3 weeks after it happened.
Yeah.
She has been betrayed. So getting these scenes – where we see just giving you more and more examples of how good of a friend Ariana was.
Yeah.
It's like it really paints a picture, guys.
Yeah. I feel like I was shocked at how upset people were about how crazy, like how much Ariana went off on Raquel at the reunion. I'm like, what did you guys expect? That she was going to, like, I feel like sometimes people just want people to cry, and that's not how everybody grieves. And she has every right to be angry, because thank you, like, putting that point, like, there's so many times throughout this entire season where she just really went to bat for Raquel. And Raquel knew that, too. So it's just so hurtful for that to see how much she defended Raquel. And Raquel has never – not even at the reunion, not even before the reunion when it all broke, she has never had an honest conversation with Ariana and had an honest apology. So I honestly thought she deserved that wrath.
Agreed. And you make a very good point, too, because I can't remember who posted it. It was a tweet someone reposted about how people giving Ariana, a hard time for what she did it's proof that women aren't allowed to be angry.
Yeah.
Like you said it perfectly. People want her to cry, but that's just not how she was grieving anymore. She was angry.
Yeah.
And we said it too. I give Raquel credit for sitting through it.
Yeah. Because
she did. She sat through it. She got up one time, as where Tom was like yelling at everybody, attacking everybody. And Raquel just was like, I got to just take it.
Yeah.
But Ariana is allowed to be so deeply hurt that she says everything she needs to say.
Absolutely.
She spent the whole season looking like a fucking idiot.
She did. And
they let her look like a fucking idiot.
The secrets revealed, like, if you guys let, and also, again, right? It's only been 3 weeks at this point and she has never seen Raquel since it broke. She hasn't spoken to Raquel since they had that conversation where she told her, and she was callous, and Raquel was very callous in that conversation. People need to think about the facts of everything. And then tell me if you wouldn't cuss out a person that fucked your boyfriend in their house while you're away at your grandmother's funeral. If you wouldn't be pissed and yell at someone who fucked your boyfriend in their car in front of your house the day your dog died.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. You're going to be told that you're a Dementor because I know you like Harry Potter.
That was a good impression. That was great. That was so spot on. But then Raquel's like, but then it turned into this whole thing. Like, we need to talk, Raquel. And Lala goes, honestly, Raquel, I wouldn't feel comfortable having you around my man. And I said, well, it's a good thing you don't have one. When Raquel was talking about Schwartz in the very beginning of the season, when she was talking about how she was like maybe gonna kiss Schwartz and like all those confessionals about Schwartz, there was something about her mouth that was driving me crazy. It was just the way she fucking talks. And now I get it. It's because that's when she's being inauthentic and lying and faking it. Oh, it's like it drove me crazy, her mouth.
I did not pick up on that, but I bet you if I rewatch it now, I would see that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like like her mouth tightens up and like she purses her. Oh, I can't stand it. But Ariana's confessional, look, this is where this was kind of the perfect crime, because Ariana's like, if Lala is hurt by the statement that she made, then she really can dish it but can't take it, because Lala has done a million things to Raquel. And they did that very damning montage of Lala absolutely being horrible.
She did. And again, that's why we said during that girls trip, we were like, I'm sorry. Like there was some faults here on the other side as well. More so from Lala, not necessarily Katie.
Yeah, exactly.
And whatever her name is.
Christina. I was like, what is her name? I totally forgot.
I don't even know why she would serve no purpose this season.
Yeah. At least Katie felt like she had a little bit of a friend.
Yeah.
I think this coming season they need to bring Dana back because Dana is really good friends with Katie.
And Ariana.
And I think they although I guess now that Scheana and Katie will be good. So
but I do think that
different.
I would be okay with Dana coming back. I think it was her choice. I feel like that she didn't come back. I didn't see.
I don't know.
Well, maybe not. But if whatever, I think that it would make sense because they've been spending so much time together. I know Katie and her are like best friends, but even she was spending a lot of time with Ariana. Like they all went to that friend's wedding in wherever that was. But
England?
Yeah, it looked English.
It looked English. They were saying lads a lot.
Yeah.
But Charlie and Tom are shameless about how happy they are that Lala is getting dragged because, and I also, again, perfect crime because Lala was insufferable during her time with Randall.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of easy to be like, well, you know?
Yeah.
So it's the perfect fucking crime happening right in front of our eyes.
Yeah, and I enjoy Lala.
Lala has grown, in my opinion, quite a bit. She still has some room.
Oh, absolutely.
But she's great TV.
She's great TV. I want to keep her on my TV, and it's like amazing that she's still great TV. And it's not the drinking, guys. Like she just is that girl. Like she knows how to turn it on. Girl.
Yeah,
she does, and she doesn't need alcohol to do it, and that's amazing.
Yep.
But yeah, like I remember when she first came onto the show, I did not like her. She grew on me, and.
Yep.
All these people. I feel like I've not liked these people at some point, which is why this show is awesome. Because it's people can redeem themselves very easily on this show for me.
How could you do this to me? Question mark.
I don't know about you, but I love reading reviews of places to eat before I go. But I just feel comforted knowing that I can look at reviews ahead of time before I even walk in the door. That is why I love ZocDoc. Because when you go to the doctor, it would be nice to know that the doctor is going to connect with you. You're going to connect with them. You'll be on the same page. ZocDoc, you find quality doctors who focus on you, listen to you, and prioritize your care. ZocDoc is the only free app that lets you find and book doctors who are patient-reviewed, take your insurance, are available when you need them, and treat almost every condition under the sun. No more doctor roulette, like scouring the internet trying to find reviews. ZocDoc, you have a trusted guide to connect you to your favorite doctor that you haven't met yet. Millions of people use ZocDoc's free app to find and book a doctor in their neighborhood who is patient reviewed and fits their needs and their schedule just right. So go to ZocDoc.com/SheSpeaks and download the free ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. Many are available within 24 hours. That's ZocDoc.com/SheSpeaks. ZocDoc.com/SheSpeaks.
Wrap it up, wrap it up, wrap it up.
Oh, I need to say something, actually. I should have said this earlier. Justice for Katie, okay? Someone pulled the clip of us talking about what Katie said about how part 3 of the reunion... the big reveal, how it's like, everyone should just calm their appetites because it's like, I'm pretty sure we all already knew it.
Yeah.
And she wasn't wrong.
Yeah.
But someone pulled that clip from the podcast, and I am blown away that people on Reddit managed to find a way to get mad at Katie.
So annoying.
So that particular part of the clip, I had just kind of paraphrased what Katie said. I did end up correcting it, but in the part they pulled, I was like, Katie was like, everyone should just everyone needs to chill. We pretty much already knew it.
Yeah.
But Katie messaged me and she was like, I cannot believe that people are like, oh, really? Of course Katie would tell us to chill. And I was like, wait, what? So I went on Reddit and saw it, and I was like, I cannot believe that they have managed to find a way to troll her.
Because people just want to be angry at her for things that they feel like she did years ago. And this is so much different than like us saying that James is weaponizing, oh, I did that such a year ago. She truly has shown so much growth since then. And she has talked about like how she was and why she acted like, you know what I mean? She like, we don't even see her drinking as much as she used to because she probably knows that is a trigger for her.
Yep.
When she's upset, and she's not going to allow us to like get Tequila Katie. When's the last time you saw Tequila Katie?
Yep. So I just could not believe it. They're like, of course Katie would tell us to chill. Of course Katie would ruin it for everyone. I'm like, I thought it was going to help people. I thought it was going to make people like, okay, so we get a little context here. But instead, on people on Reddit, a lot of the time they want to theorize. They like have the best time coming up with theories. And so if Katie comes along or anyone comes along with some reality check and is like, we kind of already knew, they're like, well, now I can't theorize forever.
Right.
And so,
that, you know what?
Justice for Katie.
But also relax. Like, fucking okay, I'm probably gonna get some shit, but seriously, because it's ridiculous to troll Katie for just saying something that was like not a big deal. And I don't think she was being condescending or at all. And so to the fans.
I fucking posted I need to correct this, you guys, because I feel bad. But she said technically she didn't even say chill. She said people need to curb their appetites. I'm pretty sure I'm like, they probably still would have gotten mad at her for that.
Yeah. People just honestly have too much time to like be mad about stuff that is not that important. Like, relax. Those are probably the Sandoval sympathizers anyway.
And she has spent so many years getting the rough end of the deal. That it's just like, I guess she's used to it, but I'm like, she doesn't need any more. Like, you guys are such pricks.
I just don't understand like why people don't allow people to grow.
Yeah,
like, it just baffles
I love it. We love growth.
And then people want to be like, oh, I guess people don't remember like this from this season from 1995.
Everything
from like 10 years ago.
And people also have been saying karma doesn't have an expiration date or karma never forgets. And I'm like, that's actually incorrect, because if you have made amends, you've done all the right things to correct your wrongs, and you're living a great life, and something happens to you, that's not fucking karma for the shit you did that you've already made amends for.
Yeah, people are stupid.
Then you're never going to be able to live a happy life.
And I feel like people just want to, the ones that are talking about Ariana's karma, like, you're choosing not to acknowledge first of all, the person that she technically hurt, which would be Kristen, and how Kristen has gone above and beyond to be like, we're good. We've had conversations about this. We put it to bed, and now because of that, we were able to actually have a friendship. Because they want to be like, well, that's I just can't feel sorry for someone who okay, well, you must not have you just don't have empathy, like, in my opinion. Like, you don't have the capacity for empathy.
Yeah.
Because you can even be mad at someone and be empathetic.
I don't think you also realize how much it's kind of victim blaming.
Yeah.
Too. It's like, because someone said she should have seen it coming. I'm like, okay, it's one thing if they've not been together for very long and this pops up, fine. It's like, well, how you get them is how you lose them. Fine, that applies. This is 9 years later, almost 10 years later. I think she should at some point surrender and just trust, like one should, so that they can have a relationship.
Right.
Like, what are you supposed to do? That's like what Tom is saying. She should have been stalking me and following me around to figure out I was lying to her. The fact that she didn't prove she didn't care enough. It's like, Ariana trusted her boyfriend. That is not a crime, and that doesn't mean she should have seen it coming.
I just want to know where all this energy was the whole other 9 years that this wasn't happening with all these people. Were you guys like actively upset about them being together? Were you actively being like a campaign like, she is terrible for being with Tom for all this time? No, you're only talking about it now. So like, where was his energy this whole, like, you didn't have these feelings until just like right now about the relationship.
Good fucking point. So they go to the roller skating thing, Tom and Ariana, and this is after guys' night. And Tom is being very flirty, romantic, loving. So again, kind of proving, guys, that his bullshit about how they were like glorified roommates, they basically didn't even touch each other, is a lie.
Yeah. I want to know how Raquel is feeling now, seeing some of this stuff that she was not privy to. Because, like, again, like I absolutely think he was saying we are like barely like even doing anything like a couple would do. And then here they are roller skating, like full on date.
And also interesting thinking about it now, because like they go on this roller skating date and they're all flirty and stuff. Was Tom intentionally not really talking to Ariana when he was around Raquel in group situations so that he could keep that lie going?
Probably.
You know?
Probably.
Right?
He was probably. Yeah, he was. And it wouldn't even be an alarm bell for Ariana because Tom is such a fucking ham.
Yep.
He needs to be praised by everybody.
Totally.
He needs to like he like fucking sachets into a goddamn room, and he's even with who was it? Scheana? Was it Sheena's surprise thing or
the way he had to come up and be like, I'm the one
leading it. He was in the back. He was in the far back, and you should the play that he made to make sure he was in the front was insane.
He did the dancing like James Kennedy impersonated.
God,
James Kennedy's impersonation was so good.
I've always
hated Tom's dancing. Hated.
I've always clocked. I'm like, why does he feel the need to like be the center of the? I've never liked Sandoval. I tolerated him.
Same. Same. Ariana has so much makeup on, and it made me think of the story of Sloane Steele. She's the host of the Mummy Dearest podcast. She was there, was it last season when they had Ariana's birthday party at that like hotel that's now no longer there. Oh. Her either sister-in-law or sister or friend was running events there, so invited Sloane to like help her work the event. And so Sloane did this great tell-all of what it was like to, meet all of them. And she, of course, said Ariana was the nicest of all of them. Just so fucking sweet. And the first thing Ariana said to her was, please ignore how much makeup I have on. I look crazy to be wearing this much makeup during the day, but it's clear that they just have to do this shit for filming.
Yeah.
And I clocked, I'm like, God, this poor thing had to wear all this makeup to do this hot-ass roller skating date because Tom wanted to look romantic.
Yeah.
It's like they were dying. Tom keeps falling, but she's doing her best. Like Ariana's like trying to hold his hand, and he just keeps falling over. Oh, I don't know if they kept it out, but she didn't look. I don't think she fell. She had white pants on. We would have seen if she had fallen.
Oh, she never fell. And let me just tell you something. When he fell, I know he felt embarrassed, and he was like, no.
It's like, this is not how it's supposed to go down. He was
trying so hard. It felt so inauthentic that entire date, and it wasn't because of Ariana. I would have said that even before Sandoval. He just doesn't read as authentic ever to me. It's all performative.
On Call Her Daddy, Ariana talked about how Tom couldn't give her a compliment that would make her like to turn her on type of thing. And like he would joke, like when she was naked, he'd be like, nice outfit. And like that was like he just never could really, get really turned on by her, it seemed. And when he says as they're sitting down, he's like, you look really hot. And she goes, thank you. And he goes, no, I meant like sweaty. And then after, even when they're done, he's like, you looked so, so hot. It's a lovely marriage of cute and hot that you do. It still doesn't feel sexy. It still doesn't feel like he's actually turned on. It feels like something he's saying for himself.
Yes.
So
he's saying it for camera. Like if they were by themselves, camera down, doing this roller skating, he would never even say that.
Nope.
Unless someone's in earshot. He's like, again, he's just very performative in my opinion.
Yeah. Ariana has the just horrendous monologue about Katie's going to have to try really hard to get me to not absolutely love Raquel. Like,
Tom's face when she said that, did you clock that?
Oh, yeah. He's like, don't make eye contact. Keep looking straight because she might be onto you.
Yeah.
And she's like, we spend so much time together on trips. We really have the most beautiful friendship family. And then saying stuff like that, I wouldn't trust Raquel around my man. I'm like, we all stayed in houses together. It's just brutal. I'm happy we got this scene, though, because once again, see, this is the type of shit she was saying and doing for Tom.
Exactly.
It also proves something else. This scene, to me, proved that the season wasn't edited. Like, because, that the conspiracy theorists or that the producers knew the whole time and, like, intentionally withheld it and blah, blah, blah. If they wanted to really, really drive this point home, they would have kept this moment in.
Yeah.
Because it's just like they would have kept all of these things that are just, they end up being like so in hindsight crazy to hear. They would have left it all in.
Mm-hmm.
But now watching it, it's like, Tom calls it a transparent love.
I couldn't even believe he said transparent love. What the fuck? He's sick.
What a thing to say, too. Transparent. Wow. He's really trying to throw him off the scent.
You know what? Like, he's good. Like, he's good at what he does. And that's why he's gotten away with it for so long. It's just like, he got a little too cocky, though, at the end. That's why he got caught.
Yep. That's exactly why he got caught. Schwartz's date, I don't care. Schwartz acted like he was inventing the wheel. He's like, wow, we're on a date. Wow, we're getting fucking drinks.
I know. I was like, it's like the Belmont, though. I was like, they do love that place.
Were they at the Belmont?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they were at the Belmont.
Why did I not clock that?
They literally put the sign in there. It says the Belmont.
I probably looked down.
Probably. I mean, I miss a lot of things. I missed the whole back door thing. So
I was like, you missed anal. You know what happens.
I know.
It happens. All right, so I'm skipping that. I don't
Wait, though.
What?
Just one thing about that.
I'm mad. Gonna be cute. I don't want to hear something cute about Schwartz.
No, fuck no.
Okay, good.
Fuck no. The only thing that really made me mad that he did that stupid fucking hypothetical and didn't give all the facts, and that really pissed me off.
That's kind of why I was like, fuck you, I don't want to hear this, because he's like,
so mad.
Asshole.
It's like,
she's if she watches the show and she's like, that's not what happened.
I know. That was the only thing I was like, I want to know what this girl's thinking now.
Yeah, you should find her Instagram. The girls go to Sir, and this is that scene that we saw a clip of later when they showed the like rewind catch up of the party that Sandoval was at and didn't come home for Ariana and blah blah blah. But they first talk about how Sandoval and Raquel in the hot tub is not something to just be like no big deal about. Like everyone's like, that just doesn't really make sense. And I like when Katie goes, I'm telling Ariana this, and she's like, well, Raquel's my friend. And I'm like, well, she's also Tom's friend.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's a good point. Lala tells the story, though, about the pool party with Ariana's grandma dying. And she points out something that is it's again, just all this foretelling. She's like, you can't be that close with somebody and you're drinking. Stuff happens. I'm like, well, there we go. That's exactly what fucking happened.
It is. It is.
Mm-hmm. Literally. Scheana and Raquel go jewelry making. We saw a little bit of this scene already, but this is the full scene. And once again, the pursing of the lips happens. This scene, it was like rampant. And Raquel says that she was the one who suggested they go in the jacuzzi because she was already in her bathing suit.
Okay.
Of course you did. So, not so fucking innocent. Okay?
She knew what she was doing.
Yeah. I was already in my bathing suit.
And the thing is, guys, she and Sandoval had already fucked. So her saying, let's get in the jacuzzi, like, what else was gonna fucking happen?
Mm-hmm. And then Sandoval was like, because this, where she keeps pursing her lips, she's like, Sandoval was like, why don't you go upstairs and pass out in the guest room? And then in the confessional, she doesn't purse her lips when she says, I didn't like put a move on Schwartz. And then she says, and nothing happened between Sandoval and I either. And she purses her lips. But also, bitch, how could you say that? Just saying nothing happened between Sandoval and I is giving it away.
Yeah.
That's giving it away.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, no one thought you did. Oh. Huh.
Yeah, because at that point, narratively.
We thought it was Schwartz.
Yeah, we're like, Sandoval has been this big cheerleader for Schwartz and Raquel to hook up. So like he was obviously facilitating a place for them to do that. So that if not knowing about Sandoval, that's what everyone would assume. We were never assuming it was Sandoval.
Yeah, right? So then Scheana tells her that the guys told Brock she didn't spend the night. And they flash to that scene in its entirety. And Schwartz covers for them. Like he steps in, he's like, I spent the night. And I'm like, so this proves that you weren't all checked out.
Yeah.
Like you tried to claim. You're actively lying.
That's a good point, Emily. That's a good point. That's a good point because he didn't spend the night. And you know why?
Because Katie said you had the dogs.
Correct.
So you didn't spend the night. You lied to cover for Tom and Raquel. And you knew that at that point they had sex already. I'm not buying it, Schwartz.
I am only going to be able to move on from this whole Schwartz thing if he needs to like literally fess up. Like I actively helped with the affair.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not saying that and trying to force him to say something he didn't do. There's just so much evidence pointing that way that I just need you to just cop to it. That's the only, because again, like I said, I can move on from shit.
Yep.
He wasn't the biggest component of this. So I'm like.
And I'm more mad about the Katie shit anyway.
Yeah. I'm like, I need you to cop to this so we can move forward.
Because there's too much evidence proving you wrong. And it makes you look like you're still being deceitful. Are you watching Stars on Mars?
No,
it's so good.
Is it? I just don't understand what it is.
Exactly. It's ridiculous, but it's just comedy, funny. It's so worth the watch.
Okay.
But Schwartz, you get a glimpse of, so Natasha Leggero is a comedian. She's on it. And there's a scene where Schwartz is talking to her about like his marriage dissolving. And the look she's got on her face, she's just like, what are you saying? Like she's over it. So taking Schwartz out of the bubble and putting him in with other people is a nice thing to see. But he does say that he's permanently done with Sandoval in one of his confessionals or
on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm glad you brought this up because right before we were on and I was TikToking, TMZ caught up with Sandoval and they were like, how do you feel about Schwartz saying that he was taking a break from you or whatever? And he was like, that's been corrected like 5 times. He didn't say that. He was saying he was done with Sandoval, not Sandoval. Oh. But then TMZ, because they're great at what they do, they put in a clip from Jax and Brittany's podcast where he literally says very clearly he's taking a break from Tom because it's been too much. So it's just interesting. Sandoval just can't like accept things and is constantly spinning. But it's like there's now to now find out that he even said that on that new show. I'm like, what?
Yeah. This scene here at the jewelry making thing is basically just showing us how much Scheana fully co-signed Raquel. Like, we can totally trust you around our man. How dare they say that? And Raquel's like, again, pursing her lips. She's like, that's why this whole like home wrecking thing's just a stretch for me. Her mouth is so tight when she says it. I'm like, girl, you know you're lying.
It's just it's a stretch. And it's like, it already happened. It's just lies.
Fucking happened. So Ariana and Lisa go to the horse stables. And this scene, I didn't realize how bad Lisa had broken her leg. 2 places and shattered.
She said, no, she said 4 places.
Oh, I'm sorry. 4 places and shattered.
That's insane.
Ow! Like, oh my God. Ugh.
That's insane. I wouldn't be riding a horse again either. Ooh. She's lucky she didn't get paralyzed. That's how, what's his, that one actor?
Christopher Reeves.
Yeah, that's how what happened to him. That's why he was paraplegic.
Yeah, I agree. I don't blame her for not getting back on the horse either.
And we didn't see it either because she probably didn't. And I rightfully fucking so. Like, and she's older too. So like,
exactly.
It's hard to bounce back from those type of injuries.
Yeah. Like, come on now.
And I feel bad about the horse. Like, you know, like it's a horse and that it happens.
Yeah, of course. And she's not mad at the horse at all.
Yeah.
But Ariana is such a great friend. She's the person that you would want to go to when anything is wrong, because as Lisa walks over and shows her like, this is where it happened, Ariana's like, do you want me to do something on it so that you have a new memory? And I was like, wait, what does she mean? And then she just gets out there and is like, I'll do a cartwheel. And then she twerks on it. And it like brightened up Lisa's mood.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Okay. And that further proves that Ariana was very open, because Raquel was like saying how she had to confide in Sandoval, and that's how they got so much closer.
Yeah,
and
bullshit.
Then Ariana was not, like, Ariana was like, I was there for you too. And she's like, nah, it's not how I felt. Like, we just saw a prime example of Ariana, how she can be there for someone in the like, I don't believe for a second that Ariana wasn't giving out the vibes of like, please, like, let me hold you. And we saw even evidence with Raquel when she was crying about her pageants and shit.
Yep. Yeah.
It's just insane. Like, how much damn, they would be locked up if this was like an illegal crime.
Right? Totally.
There's just so much evidence. It's not even circumstantial. Like, most affairs are kind of circumstantial. Even if you know, you just don't have this much fucking evidence usually.
The jury would take 2 seconds.
2 fucking seconds.
They're like, they'd get in the jury room. They'd be like, so we're all unanimous? Cool. Yeah. Fucking
like,
guilty on all counts.
No one would have even left the courtroom by the time that they had
jail. They don't even go into the jury room. They just like look at each other like, we don't need to deliberate.
Yeah.
Just
life in prison.
Life in prison without parole.
And they lied under oath, add on extra years.
Yep. All done. Allie and James's scene. James has just bought his house, which is great. I like that they're mocking Tom and Raquel's public apologies.
Yes.
Because they were pathetic.
They really were.
They're pathetic. And they get a drink, and I noted Allie saying that when they first got together, they were drinking a lot, but now it's different.
Mm-hmm.
I know that feeling. James, out of nowhere, he's like, honestly, fuck Raquel. Like, they were talking about something else. But he's sad about Graham.
Yeah.
I am too, actually. But now that Ariana's told us that Graham is like the worst behaved dog, it totally makes sense.
I mean, honestly, for like both parents.
For both parents.
Completely makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. But Allie is running it down. She's like, Sandoval doesn't give a fuck about you. And by the way, James calls Sandoval 42 years old. Sandoval when he went to the roller skating place, he said he was 39, and they did a correction. He is 40, but James calls him 42.
Is he 42?
A bunch of people have said that to me. A bunch of people have DM'd like, why does he keep saying he's just turning 40 when he's 42?
Oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
God, can we get a birth certificate?
We need a birth certificate. Absolutely. So the final never before scene is this lunch with Katie, Lala, and Allie. Katie's hungover, and Scheana and Katie have bonded. They bonded at that like girls' night. Well, Katie just says, I don't want to kill her anymore. So that's progress. So
yeah, I mean, that is.
That works. That works for me. But they talk about Raquel posting all those pictures of her eye and the restraining order. That fucking eye, that picture of that goddamn eye. I can't.
I like how they said. I like how I think Lala says it. She's like that eye that's always dark.
But Allie's like, James is just much more hurt by Sandoval. And here's a tidbit: Wednesday night, when it happened, Sandoval was texting James like everything was normal.
Oh, but they're not close.
Yep.
But they're not close, according
to
Sandoval. They're not close.
You're right. But isn't that wild that he's had it out with Ariana like that, and he's just like, okay, bro, yeah, cool, talk to you tomorrow.
He's psycho. That's psycho behavior, because he's so used to lying.
Exactly. And he's like, Ariana will cover for me on this one like she always does.
He probably really thought he could control the narrative. Like, this isn't going to be good for you either, Ariana.
Yeah.
That's probably why he was so fucking angry. Because she just really wasn't going to back down from this. And she's and also, I don't know if we talked about this, but if she was the biggest person of hiding with how they really operate, why was she the first one to tell producers?
Why was she the first one to tell producers?
If that's like been her MO, like, she quickly told them.
Yep. Lala tries to have a moment where she talks about how James moved on fast. And she's like, I just want to know that you don't have to deal with the things in it that he like should have been dealing with before he got into another relationship. And Allie goes, I'm not worried. There's not a lot of stuff that gets brought up. I'm like, well, no, there is. Like, he brings it up constantly.
Yeah.
He does. He brings it up constantly.
Yes, he does.
Not because he's not over Raquel. I don't think in any way he's attracted to Raquel anymore or like wants to get back together, but there's a deep hurt there.
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
Yeah. You don't have to want to be with someone or be still attracted to them to still be having unresolved issues or feelings in the sense of like I think he did feel blindsided by the ending of the engagement, especially since he went like all in on that, and he was like gonna change his whole life essentially. So of course he's like there has to be something there that he needs to like figure out.
Agreed. But his big thing is he feels like everyone chose Raquel.
They did.
That is not incorrect.
They did.
They totally did.
They
fully chose Raquel.
They did.
And that's a shitty feeling.
I do
feels
think that
thrown aside by Sandoval.
Absolutely. And I do understand him. If Raquel did this with someone else that was in Sandoval, I wouldn't have as much empathy for James in this situation because I don't think that he cares about Raquel or not doesn't care. Like he did this. I think he did the same things to Raquel. So I would like, you don't really have a leg to stand on here, buddy. But it's really for me, the Sandoval of it, he had that it's the friendships is what makes me so empathetic towards everybody in this situation. Like these were real friendships, off-camera friendships. We've seen it on their social media. They really hang out with each other. It's not like Summer House. Sorry, I feel like Summer House is getting thrown under the bus a lot. And they deserve it.
Yeah.
They deserve it.
Yeah, they do deserve it. They do deserve it. The scene basically ends with Lala saying she feels the worst for Scheana and Ariana because they were the ones like writing for her so hard. And like, I think we all can agree when it comes to a man hurting some woman, it's like, oh, age-old story.
Yeah.
But the bigger pain and the bigger betrayal is that Raquel was lying to them and also letting them lie for her.
Yes.
You know, just sitting there watching them lie.
And like, yeah, like we're not mad at Scheana anymore, but it does make me empathetic towards Scheana. Just seeing how much she rode for Raquel. She embarrassed herself saying she would let her husband sleep in the same bed as Raquel. Like these people like really said some outlandish things for this fucking lady for them. So like, again, guys, can they, and then Scheana still didn't even get to cuss. She didn't even get to cuss out Raquel because she had a goddamn restraining order. People being like this empathetic towards Raquel and being cussed out, like get real. Like this woman put a whole restraining order on Scheana.
Yes.
She like went legal with it.
Yeah.
That could have ruined Sheena's life. And like, that's not being dramatic. Like that kind of stuff follows you.
Mm-hmm. It does.
So I'm sorry that she had to get cussed out. Like whatever. Like you fucking did it. Like you did it.
You did it.
They didn't just cuss her out. They cussed out Sandoval too. Y'all both fucking did it.
And I also said that too. I was like, I feel like it was fair to both of them. It wasn't like she got it more. It's just that Sandoval fought back.
Yeah.
And she didn't. So it makes her seem like more innocent.
Like a little lame Bambi. Mm-hmm. No. You don't get to lay down like a shot fawn and then everyone be like, well, now they're mean. No, they're not mean. That shit happened to them. They're allowed to react in any way that they want, well, to a degree. To a degree. But no, like she earned that. And I think that I do think that if the reunion was filmed now, it wouldn't have like feelings. Like Ariana's feelings are like being sorted out now. You know what I mean? She has had time to process her feelings. I don't even think she would have cussed her out as much as she did. She would definitely cussed her out, but like those were raw, real emotions very soon afterwards. So I'm just not here for, I think that Ariana did perfect on all three parts.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Agreed. So let's do a little Patreon exclusive bit.
Oh.
How could you do this to me? Question mark.
Well, Patreon people, I hope you enjoy that little exclusive content. I'm trying to bring them some more exclusive content because I've
guys
been doing
learned
that
a lot about me today.
Yes, we did. We did. But for everyone else out there, thank you all. Now we're all in this together. Thank you guys for coming with Pia and I on this journey, this insane journey. This has been emotional for both of us. And so it's been fun to do this with all of you guys.
Yeah.
Because we were in it together, man.
God, it's been a journey. When did we start this?
It feels like it's been forever. It's always months because it's, like the episodes. What are we on? Episode 19, 20?
But we were also doing recap of
we were
VPR season 3 before this started. And we were in the crux of it. So we've been like Vanderpumping for feels like half a year, actually.
I want to say 6 months.
I kind of feel like it's been 6 months.
It was since last year. Oh my God, it was since before. It was like around Christmas time, like right before Christmas, Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's June.
That's what Vanderpump has been living in me,
girl,
for a while now.
So yeah. That's why when people are like, I think you guys are forgetting something, I'm like, oh, we're not.
Not forgetting a damn thing.
We remember all of it. We've just done it. If you guys didn't know, Pia and I recapped all of season 3 over on the Patreon. It's exclusive for the Grand Dames and the Moment Queens. But what was so interesting is we weren't done quite yet with the recap as the season started. And then towards the very end of that recap was when Scandival happened. So it was so weird to recap. Like, we had just been going like we had been going. Don't get me wrong. We had definitely had our minds changed about stuff, like in hindsight.
Yeah.
But when the Scandival thing happened, we were like, it was a weird experience.
Yeah.
So check that out. All of the episodes are up, both video and audio. So that's available. And Pia, thank you so much.
Emily, thank you.
No, you.
No, you.
Pia, you are the best podcast partner ever, my podcast soulmate. You make the show better.
You make me not go insane with my thoughts. So thank you for giving me a place to vent sometimes.
The people love Pia. You are, so we thank you. I thank Pia, and stay tuned for the next series that we cover. All right, guys. Bye.
Bye.
I hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you did, would you mind leaving me a 5-star rating and review on whatever platform you are listening? If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget there's the super thanks option down at the bottom, the little button with the $sign and the heart. And also I'm on buymeacoffee.com/SheSpeaksBravo if you want to buy me a little coffee or 2 or 5. And my Patreon, that is where I'm covering all of the classic Bravo jams. If you want to follow me over there and subscribe, link is in the description. And follow me on Instagram and TikTok at She Speaks Bravo. And whoever the guest was for today, all their information is always in the episode description. So if you want to follow them and check them out, check there for the info. And any of the sponsor codes that I mentioned in this episode will also be in the description. I love you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I'll see you next time. Bye.